Yes! Deadlift bar, training clothing to keep at the office, and some additional weight plates for the gym, and some more. Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and welcome to what is essentially a day in my life as it stands, as we are building out a headquarters alongside regular day-to-day operations, period of chaos with new products, Black Friday sale, etc, etc. Loads going on alongside training for a 250-kilometre run from Edinburgh to the top of Ben Nevis, brackets, and then back down. That'll be the sort of underwhelming part of that long run, but we are currently just trying to maintain as much strength as possible whilst building up aerobic volume to be able to tackle such an intimidating task. Today is going to be a lower body session. It is just past 7 in the morning. You've already seen what my morning looks like up until this point. The deadlift bar has arrived. We have enough weight plates on the rig behind us now to crack on with all training up to a point until maybe the Stoltman brothers come to visit, in which case we'll need some more. But until then, low body this morning, full day's work, track, running this afternoon, and then I'll take you through the rest of the evening as the day unfolds. So I should probably just get started, really. I was meant to bring in some 2.5s and some 1.25s along with the clips from the house, but I've forgotten them, which means that plan A of doing 200 for a max rep set is off the table, which means that I might be foolish and just rack up the barbell and see where I end up. But my hips do feel a bit battered after long run on Sunday. I think my hips are struggling a little bit to reacclimatise to low bar squatting because I haven't really done much of it over the summer. Priority's been front squatting, high bar and deadlifting. Whether my hips can take a heavy sumo today, we will find out. But I did pull a fairly smooth 240 last week, which looks something like this. Not bad, eh? Not bad, not bad. So at this point, I think the brief is, let's see what happens this morning. We're all gonna find out. Cold. All right, let's hope this moves quite speedily and then I'll have a better understanding of what the day is going to look like. 180 is always the point where I can figure out how the rest of the day is going to go. Interesting. That felt light and fluffy. Yeah, everything's feeling pretty smooth actually. What a great start to the day. 230 locked and loaded, which is about 510 pounds in freedom units. Oh, almost went dark. I wonder if 250 is going to stay on the bar. It might not matter because it might not leave the ground, but here we are. Johnny, if you're watching, I know the brief was 200 for a 1 rep and reserve set, but I'm going to try and pull 250 because I'm filming a YouTube video. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Any Omnia Performance athletes watching, don't do this. Stick to the plan. And if you're not an Omnia Performance athlete and you're watching, then you should become one by checking out the link in the description down below. And actually, there's also a link to get 15 resilience hacks delivered straight to your inbox if you sign up to the mailing list. So at the very least, you can level up in some way. Welcome to Omnia Performance Headquarters. Fucking come on. Damn boy! 250 kilos secured, very, very pleased with that, given the fact that that's the third sumo session that I've done since taking sort of quite a long hiatus from it. Been prioritising conventional work over the summer, and obviously that's had a decent carryover to my sumo work. Now I've realigned myself with the positioning. I have always found sumo easier to manage for me personally alongside hybrid training because it means that all of the impact that comes from running, cycling, etc., and the fatigue that comes with it is much more predictable with sumo for consistent training than it is with conventional. I've always really struggled with consistent, predictable conventional training, even though my best ever deadlift is in a conventional stance, and I do feel stronger in it. 1 week can feel really solid, the next week can feel absolutely dreadful, and 85% won't even leave the floor. So, confident that a summer of conventional work has landed myself in a good position with sumo work to come over the winter. But I'm now going to move on to some low bar back squatting sets of 5 as I get used to the position again, because again, been prioritizing front squats and high bar squats over the summer as I've got used to strongman work for the first time, and obviously been prioritising the 500 pound deadlift and mile under 5 minutes as a goal, which means that squatting's taken a bit of a backseat. So just realigning my hips, readjusting my hips to the demand going through sumo, low bar and high volume running, but we'll see how the rest of the session unfolds. Brief is basically work up from 140 in sets of 5 until I hit like an RP 8, 8.5. So we'll see where we end up. Leave it there. That wasn't too challenging, but to be honest, I feel a little bit uneasy about not having safety bars whilst I don't have clips on. Bit of a shift on the plates there. My fault, didn't bring the change plates of the clips in. We do have them on order from Black Box, but 140 for 5, 150 for 5, 160 for 5, all move reasonably well. Move on to assistance work, and then we'll debrief ahead of the rest of the day. Jesus. Ooh. All right, job done, happy days. I'm very out of breath from single leg high rep work, but we are where we are. Volume wasn't too high today, everything moved quite nicely. Main demand was obviously the deadlift, and just reacclimatizing myself to the movements of sumo, low bar, with very minimal assistance work. I do have track work later on, so I always like to keep my top end strength work quite minimal and focused ahead of double days where I'm running as well, and then pick up on the assistance work later in the week. As with all of our Omnia Performance programming, we peak intensity at the start of the week, peak volume at the end of the week, and invert that as the week goes on, as we've found that the most effective way to balance hybrid training across purposes. You may have noticed I'm wearing the same pair of shoes throughout all my lifts, which are the Vivo Barefoot Motor Strength Shoe, which are the best strength training shoes that Vivo have released in recent years. A study out of Liverpool University in 2021 had indicated that you can improve your foot strength by up to 60% by simply walking around in a pair of Vivos on a day-to-day basis. Beyond that, obvious benefit, if you're trying to get strong and jacked in the gym, you might as well get strong and jacked out of the gym as well, am I right? You also can improve your foundation from the ground upwards, build your base through reinforced stability, proprioception, and just generally be improving the strength around your ankle joint and lower limbs, which can carry over to other things as well. But day to day, I find them really comfortable. Whatever model you're in, whether it's the Motus or otherwise, the premise is the same. They're wide, thin, flexible, and have an open toe box so that you can interact with the floor without too much interference or sponginess getting in the way. If you'd like to give Vivos a go, use the code Fergus Vivo at checkout to save yourself 15% off, and let me know how you get on in the comments or over social media, as I would love to find out. Anyway, that is that. I'm gonna go and get showered and crack on with the rest of the workday. It is 8:15 now, so hoping to be at my desk for 8:30. See you shortly. All right, just gone 8:30. I'm showered, changed, and feeling fresh. And Jamie, my brother, is coming up from having spent a couple of days down south, and he normally does this. So I need to print out some clothing labels so that we can get the t-shirts that I was training in shipped off to people that have ordered from Marmonier's website. Jamie has left me item by item instructions so that I don't cock this up, as I've not actually done this before, but can't be that hard, can it? Can't be that hard. Get these packed, shipped out, and then I'll run you through what the rest of the day is going to look like. Alright, so just past 9 and all of those t-shirts are packed and ready to go, labelled with perfect execution and a handwritten note for each and every one of them, as we love you oh so much. So 9 till 10, I'm going to go through emails. Generally speaking, for me, Mondays are completely blocked out for programming and communications with our one-to-one athletes, which means that Tuesday I then catch up on admin from sort of the weekend and Monday. So Tuesday mornings are always sort of reserved for general outward communications. At 10, Scott and I are going to sit down and go through a marketing plan for the wintering, which is not just the sort of YouTube series you're watching right now, but it's going to be a big intake with a lot of exciting things happening with Omnia Performance that you can all get involved in. So just a reminder to sign up for the 15 resilience hacks via the mailing list down below, and you'll be the first to know about what is going to be a 12-week intake focused on building your resilience alongside ours. So keep an eye out for that. Then 11 till 12, I have some sort of programming for the rest of the week to crack on with, a few adjustments made, given mapping out people's programming yesterday, and then getting them respond to me today so I can map it out for the rest of the week there, alongside a few financial things, hence the expense reporting required with all the messy receipts. The wetsuit, I don't really know why the wetsuit's there, to be honest. That is not actually going to my accountant. That is just there for shits and giggles. And then midday, pretty much on the nose every single day. I'll get lunch at midday. So that's that. Well, oh, fuck. Forgot my lunch. Left it in the fridge. It's the second day in a row I've done that. Okay, Marks and Spencer's it is. And then I have a one-to-one call with one of our top tier Carpe Omnia clients, one of our fortnightly check-in calls at 1 PM. So why don't we touch base after lunchtime, I assume. Goodbye. Okay, lunch secured along with a refinancing agreement for the house, given that I just bought lunch from M&S. So some smoked salmon nibbly bits, we'll call them. A Korean style dragon roll, little sushi, but not actually sushi because it's not raw fish thing. And then a roast chicken and coleslaw Christmas special sandwich, which is only 367 calories and reasonably high in protein. So fantastic. I'm going to take those back to the office and see you there. And just made it back in time for my call at 1. It is now 1:30, said call is finished, and towards the end of it I was shivering like a madman, so I've put this heater on just here to keep myself warm and toasty and try and not bankrupt ourselves by putting the central heating on and having M&S lunches as well. So 1:30 till 2:30 I'm going to be finishing off a presentation I'm giving to Muller next week at their head office in Manchester. Just actioning some discovery call conversations that have been had and just making the presentation highly specific to them. 1:30, that's wrong. 2:30 till 3, I will be plotting in some website changes into my diary to try and have them finished by the end of the week. And if there's any time left over, I will make a start on those so I can tick them off as I go. And then at 3, we're gonna head to the track so that we can be there right as it opens at 3:30. Ordinarily, if I was just training rather than filming a video as well, I would just train in the evening at the track, but that tends to be when there are lots of children around. So given that it is moustache season, with it being November, and we will have cameras, I thought for the sake of avoiding criminal charges, it's probably wise to go right on the nose of it opening so we can be in and out as quickly as we can. So I'm gonna crack on and not let you lot and this silly old camera distract me anymore today, and see you at the track. Hello, and we are at the track exactly as I said we would be. And it's very cold, almost colder than my office, which is strange because normally it's colder in there than it is outdoors. But nonetheless, I am here for 4 or 5, I can't remember. We will all find out. For 2.5, 1200 meter reps at 4 minute per kilometer pace, so sort of tempo, sub-threshold pacing for me at the moment. First time I've been on the track since my 5K time trial. Thumbnail on the screen, video up somewhere for you to check out afterwards if you'd like, where I went 18:11. So decent amount of sort of sub-threshold tempo pacing in my legs at the moment off the back of training for a sub 5 minute mile again. But everything is about training for a 250 kilometer effort, which is very, very different. So we'll see where we end up and hit 4 or 5 1200 meters once I've done several warm-up laps, because never has a warm-up been as essentially required to do exactly that, a warm me up. Oh, shite. Fucking freezing. If you've been watching the channel recently, anything of wintering focus, you'll know my favourite phrase right now is be bold and start cold. But I think I'm going to let an exception apply here, given that I can do 1 lap, well, 1 round, and then get rid of this. So in this case, I'm going to be cold and start bold, and then get rid of this, and hopefully be roasty toasty the whole way through. So I'm just a massive hypocrite, it seems. Mind you, once this does come off, you'll all be wowed at my exceptional colour coordination of shoe to t-shirt today. Other than that, everybody's, including myself, ready to be disappointed. But nonetheless, the purpose of this session is to maintain my sort of threshold and higher heart rate work. So I'm only going to be doing 1 session like this each week. It's probably going to be here just because I do enjoy it, and then the rest of my volume is going to be predominantly aerobic volume based. I'm stalling. 3, 2, 1, go. Auto lap on at 1k, so I think that was just under 4 minute per k. That was very easy, that felt really smooth. 2 minutes rest between efforts. I'm going to go 4 minute per k, 355, 350, 345, 340 or faster, and just work that way. So there's a bit of an ascending pyramid up the way, because I'm not actually wearing a heart rate monitor at the moment, just because of whenever I'm at the track I actually don't really like wearing one, just because I want to base it off effort and raw pacing, because I'm very, very attuned to RPE and perception of pace. So with that in mind, I'm just going to work off sort of a perceived average over the course of rep 1 to rep 5 and just enjoy getting some hard work done. My asthma does struggle this time of year, so I'm expecting at the end of rep 5 to be quite wheezy talking to you, but we shall see. I've got 45 seconds. Leave me in peace to rest, yeah? Thanks. Oh, the colour coordination. It's the least effective rest period I've ever had in my life. Overshot that one a little bit. 340 per k, feels so smooth. So I'll just do 4 and 5 at 340. Well, I'll do 4 at 340 and 5 at just a bit of a hard effort for some fun, because we've already full sent it on a deadlift, so why not full send it on a track in the cold, out of practice, with a heavy deadlift in our legs, because you guys are going to like the video, comment with your thoughts or feelings, and subscribe down below if I do, aren't you? Aren't you? Good, thank you, great. Right, I'll rest now. $6k of work, so the last one was just over 4 minutes, 321 per k for the last 1200. So I basically went 4 minute per k, 355, 340, 338, 321 per k. So per 1200, just average that out with Strava data, just here with a descending graph. That felt really solid, and I'm pleased that my asthma's held out. I am happy with how today's training has gone. Back to the office. Hello, Well, good evening. It is 7:27 and I got back to the office about 4:30, sat outside the office for about half an hour, finishing off a phone call, came in at about 5, showered, had a bit of food, and I've been sat here since then cracking on with some administrational tasks, WhatsApp, catching up from a managing athletes on their point of view, along with some sort of customer service updates for that side of things as well, along with that accounting stuff that I was talking you through earlier, which is essentially just VAT quarters, which requires finding and sending over invoices. My system throughout the quarter could be a little bit improved, I will admit, but once it's in the hands of the accountants, problem solved. Aside from paying it, which hurts about as much as an M&S lunch does. How many times am I going to make that joke today? Anyway, it's been a long day. I'm not going to bother taking the camera home with me because all I'm going to do is have dinner with Erin, probably watch one episode of Luther that Erin hasn't seen and I watched years ago, so we're watching it together, and then be in bed for about 9:15, 9:30. I am focusing on really trying to be asleep before 9:30 as much as I can because I'm up at 5:30 each morning. Routine is 5:30 up, leave at about 1:15 and be here for 6:45 every day, aiming to be training or at my desk working by 7, and that's a routine that's been feeling really good for me for the past couple of months that we've been in here, and I'm going to aim to continue. So if you have enjoyed the video, do make sure to drop it a like, comment down below with your thoughts and or feelings, make sure that you have subscribed, and please do stick around as there is going to be a lot more daily update video content like this, and I would love to have you around for it. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about managing your training, please drop them down below. If you want to check out Omni Performance for your training, link is in the description down below. 15 free resilience hacks when you sign up to the mailing list as well. And get yourself some barefoot shoes because they can improve your foot strength by up to 60%. And with Fergus Vivo, you can save 15% off at checkout. Ramble over. Waffling from me complete. Video over. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.